764 Heroes Weekends of Sound said everything emo never did before emo broke big. In the year 2000, while the world still turned its eyes to Radiohead's Kid A and the last sighs of alt rock, a quieter storm was brewing in the Pacific Northwest. One that would drift in like a cold Seattle's overcast sky and stay with you like a memory you can't quite place. It was called Weekends of Sound, and it was 764 Heroes' moment of magic. 764 Hero formed in the mid 1990s out of the same rain soaked streets that raised Built to Spill from Idaho and Modest Mouse from Enumclaw. The band name, well, it was a jab at a Washington State Highway complaint hotline for HOV lane violators. Pure Seattle sarcasm. John Atkins on guitar and vocals, you've got Polly Johnson on drums, and for this album, James Bertram, formerly of Link and Red Star's Theory, on bass. This was their third album. Everything seemed to click. It wasn't polished, it wasn't flashy, but it was quietly seismic. All restraint and release. Songs stretch and breathe like they're learning to walk in slow motion. Atkins sings like he's halfway between Heartbreak and long before its time, Gen Z Stare. And the band lets space speak just as loudly as their instruments. It's kind of emo, but not quite. Kind of indie rock, but barely hanging on to the edge. There's this haunting clarity to it, like driving alone at 3 a.m. with nowhere to be. Tracks like Terrified of Flight and You Were the Long Way Home ache as they play. Weekends of Sound wasn't even close to being mainstream, but for those who found it, it became a shared secret, especially if you were a fan of, say, early Modest Mouse. In fact, Modest Mouse was 764 Heroes' kindred spirit. The bands were friends, collaborators, regular tour mates. Both bands were chasing similar ghosts, sprawling songs, restless emotions, and the raw sound of the Pacific Northwest, trying to say something that words really couldn't. A quarter century after its release, it's a reminder of how deeply a whisper can cut through the noise. The kind of album that doesn't try to impress. It just feels like someone who understands you. The kind of record that never asked to be remembered. But honestly, 25 years later, it still echoes. Slow, spellbinding, solemn. 764 Hero didn't shout. They didn't need to.